Alright, hello everyone. So today is December 28th of 2022. We're back with another video. So last time we talked about the admission process, a little bit about the program overview. What else did we talk about? Social environment, job search. But today, because it's the end of the first semester that I just went through, I want to talk a little bit about the courses and how they're like. So first of all, let's start with CPSC 110. So last time I talked about how there's a challenge exam. So now went through basically almost the entire course, with the exception of the final exam. Unfortunately, that got postponed until January. So went through the course, and overall, I felt that the course, it is still a really tough course. Pretty much every class, you're gonna have to do, there's like a lecture assignment that you have to do. Now those are pretty easy, but then there's also labs that you need to keep up with, and basically labs, and then the course material that edX videos need to watch your own. And so pretty much every day you'll need to be working on the programming just to keep up. And of course there's midterms as usuals. So overall I feel like CPSC, it's a 4-credit course, and it's going to be the course that's going to take the most time out of your schedule. Next up we have CPSC 121. So CPSC 110 is the Introduction to Systematic Programming. I think that's what it's called. CPSC 121 is the Models of Computation courses. Now this course, I feel like it's not as intensive as CPSC 110, but nonetheless, it is still a relatively challenging course. You got labs, tutorials. There's only 4 assignments spread throughout the term, but those are 5 questions each assignment, but it still takes a long time to do. 2 midterms, a final. I think this semester our section scored, I think 71 on the overall course results. That was the course or sectional average for the course. For CPSC 121, I felt like the labs, they were kind of quite enjoyable actually. Some people didn't really like it, but I felt that it was pretty fun. Some of the material is pretty tough. It starts off relatively easy, then medium, then gets kind of hard at the end. Not as hard as CPSC 110 again, but nonetheless still a challenging course. So next up is the COMM 280 course. This is called Entrepreneurship. This is it's not an elective. It's an exemption replacement course because I got credits for, I think it was one of the stats courses that most people have to take, but I already taken it in my first degree. So this is an exemption course that I took. Entrepreneurship, or maybe just working for startups in general, is something that I potentially want to do in the future. So this course basically teaches you like the basics of how to think like an entrepreneur, stuff that you need to consider when starting a business. And this course, the main project is a e-portfolio, of which you basically take an idea and flesh it out based on the concepts that you learn through the course. So things like market sizing, how to build a prototype, how to find an audience, how to market your product, things like that. So you're gonna have to take all those things you learn, apply it to a business idea of your own choosing, and then at the end you're gonna have to make a presentation and basically pitch it to essentially your classmates, the teacher, TA. Occasionally there may be like external people coming in to take a listen to your pitch, but that's what we had to do. This course is actually, the material is not too difficult, but there is so much work. Pretty much every class there's an assignment that you need to do that rolls into your e-portfolio. Now the good thing is it's not due like assigned today on Tuesday to do the next class, but it's more like all of your assignments you're gonna be doing in like 3 separate chunks that rolls into your e-portfolio. So like early submission, a mid submission, and a final submission. So you have 3 submission dates, and say for example like 10 assignments get put into the first one, the next 10 get put into the second one, and the last one goes into your final submission. So it's like a rolling product. But all in all, I think at the end I had like 60 pages of content, and then like another 15 pages of appendix, and then you have to make a presentation and also make a prototype. So in just like 3 months, because basically it goes from September to December and there's no final exam. Basically in those like 3 months, like it is quite a lot of work, but it should be okay as long as you pace yourself and don't leave it to the very, very last minute. But overall, I felt like the course was very enjoyable. You do learn a lot about like the things you need to think about if you want to become an entrepreneur or start your own startup, or maybe even just like how to evaluate if a potential startup is going to be successful. Lastly, it's another exemption replacement. I took the Philosophy 220. The course is called Symbolic Logic. And you might have heard about this. It's apparently a GPA booster, and there is some overlap with the CPSC 121 content. Now, I wouldn't say it matches perfectly with CPSC 121. There is some overlap, but only in the earlier sections of the courses. But my review for this course is that it is actually a quite time-consuming course. Every week or bi-weekly, there's going to be quizzes and basically an assignment that you need to do. And the quizzes aren't exactly easy. Some of them are, but then some of them are basically at the midterm level. So you need to do a whole lot of practice. So first you need to learn the material and then do a whole lot of practice and do the assignments all in 1 week. It's actually quite a bit of work as well. And the thing that I didn't really like about the course is it's kind of inconsistent. Some week you could just do, watch the video lectures, do the assignment, and that's all you need to do to like basically ace and get 100% on the quiz. But some weeks I did that and also did the extra practice problems, just some extra practice problems, and still not enough to get a good grade on the quiz. And I remember one quiz that I had to do was actually 2 hours long. So it was basically a midterm, but it was just basically treated as a quiz. So it can be a lot of work. The way to do good in this course is just basically do as much practice problems as you can. And unfortunately, I don't think this course is the GPA booster anymore. The sectional average for my class, so I was in the online section. In last year, I think it was like 80%, so which was one of the reasons why I took it. But for this semester, the class average was only 72%. So unfortunately, probably not a GPA booster anymore. It is an online course, so that is one benefit. But this actually rolls into the next topic I want to talk about more, which is like GPA boosters in general. Now the thing is, if you are a BCS student, because you go into the program with third year standings, you actually have a lot more opportunities or a lot more range of options for GPA booster courses that you can take. So Philosophy 220 is one option, but I would actually recommend you to look into some of the upper year electives, because those GPA boosters, I feel like have higher averages than some of the like first or second year courses. So for example, if you look through Reddit, some of the GPA boosters they recommend is like Philosophy 220. Another ones, let me take a look, is called EOS 114, so that's the natural disaster course. There's the ATSC 113, which is the applied meteorology courses. So for EOS 114, the course average for that was 75%. ATSC 113 course average was 78%. Now these averages are a little bit higher than say like regular physics, chemistry, comp sci courses. But if you look into like some of the third year or fourth year courses, GPA boosters that you can take. So for example, I found one called SPPH, so that's the School of Population and Public Health. So SPPH 481C, that's the Special Topics in Population and Public Health. Global Health Policy and Systems, I think, is the course title. That course has a 96% average. Another one, very popular, Forestry 303. It's an online course as well. Principles of Forest Science, 97% average. And the last one is Plan 341, so that's the urban planning courses. The course title is called Smart Cities, Concepts, Methods, and Designs. This one has 89% average. And so as you can see, definitely do more of your research on like what GPA booster courses that you can take. Now, of course, some downsides is that like some of the courses aren't available in both semesters, or maybe there's some prerequisites that you need to take. But for all of those 3 upper year electives or GPA boosters I mentioned, yeah, there's no prerequisites, but they are only available in. So the first 2 are only available in term 1. The second one is available in term 2. And I'll actually be taking Plan 341. That's one of the courses that I'm actually very excited about. So more about that in the future. Shifting gears, I want to talk a little bit more about the career side of things. So through this first semester, there was 2 opportunities that opened up. The first one I'll talk about is the Try Mentoring program. So a little bit about the program. As I mentioned, I'll pair 2 current students, so like a lower year and an upper year students, and then an industry professional. So that's where the try comes in. And the mentoring part is like the junior person can get some advice from like upper year students, and then both the students can get advice from the industry person. And so a little bit about the program is you need to spend roughly 35 hours over 2 terms. You meet once every 6 weeks, and you can talk about things like careers, personal projects, academics. There are additional like technical or soft skills seminars that you can go to, and you do need to apply for it. So personally, I actually didn't apply for it because it is actually quite a bit of time commitment. And I realized that in second term, that's probably when I need to start doing job applications, work on personal projects, things like that. And I already have some people that I know in the industry that were BCS alumni. So I felt like I could reach out to them to get some like advice or mentoring as well. So that's why I didn't go into this formalized program. But I just want to highlight that this is like a very good resources that you can access if you want to. Let's just say if you don't know anyone in the industry, then definitely something like this, the Try Mentoring program, is probably really good for you. So I think this one was offered through the CPSC departments, but there's also the UBC BizTech, or the Business Technology Club. They offer something similar as well. So if you want to focus a little bit more on the business side of things, like that's another avenue for you to explore as well. All right, the next thing I want to talk about was during the reading break, we had an opportunity to visit the Microsoft office. So that one I signed up for. Basically, what happened was they had like 3-4 panelists. It was like a town hall style. They talk a little bit about their careers. Some of them are career switchers. One actually was in the BCS program. One was in engineering physics at UBC. And they all came into Microsoft. So we got a little bit offered opportunity to listen to their stories, ask them questions about like what else like working at Microsoft, what it's like moving into the tech industry, because one person, that BCS person, was a career switcher. And yeah, just a little bit more of an insight on what the tech industry and Microsoft is all about. Unfortunately, we didn't get to tour the office space, but it was still a pretty good chance to learn more about the industry firsthand. So I think this will wrap up this video for today. This is going to be the last video of the year. In term 2, hopefully I'll get to talk more about hackathons. I'll apply to one, and you do need to apply for some certain hackathons to get in. So hopefully, if I get in, I'll definitely talk more about that. Term 2 is when I'll be start looking for jobs. So I'll keep you guys updated on what that job search process is like. Things like cover letters, resumes, job search process, job search experience. And I'll talk a little bit more about some of the courses that I'll take in term 2. I will be taking quite a lot of like electives to get those out of the way, and 1 comp sci courses. So stay tuned on that. We'll have more videos coming for you next year in 2023.